Valorant Challenger South Asia, driven by Hyundai, and our styling partner is Philips OneBlade. This is an important match for both these teams. Velocity and Reckoning are fighting for their tournament lives. Only one of them can get into the playoffs, and Velocity are looking in trouble. From competing in Champions and Masters, players like Eccles and Doma have had a fall for grace, where they are actually fighting for their lives in a Challenger League. And even though Velocity have been experimenting with their playing five quite a lot, their results don't seem to improve regardless of the lineup that they play with. This time, unfortunately, Eccles will not be a part of the playing five, and Reckoning can only hope that they are able to exploit this to the fullest extent.
I'm just excited to see Flaben. I just want him out here because he has to do something unique, right? But yeah, the remaining three players of both these teams look confident enough. And here we go. No props. Come on, Flaben. I expected better of you. Although the dance is still there, and he is still looking towards the M2. But yeah, I expected a bit too much from Flaben.
Yeah, just because he comes out with a dual-wielding sheriff in his previous game doesn't mean he's going to do it every time. Sometimes the props are not necessary. The charisma that he brings to the table is enough, to say the least. And there we go, the last few players, the stars of their team, Hellfighter and Deadly 10. Keep in mind that even though Hellfighter is primarily a very passive player, he can pick up the aggression when required. So both him and Deathmaker will need to show up today. Deathmaker was the spear of the team, the pointy end of that spear. Mostly the duelist guy. But of late, he has been having some shaky games. Every now and then, whenever Deathmaker plays, if he shows up, he will absolutely destroy the entire lobby. If he doesn't, well then he's not going to do anything at all. He's going to be harmless. So you can't afford to give Deathmaker one of those shaky games today. He has to be the pillar of consistency today.
For Reckoning, let's just avoid him. Run to a different site. Run to where Deathmaker is not there. That could be a fair strategy. But hey, you've got a weapon of your own, Deadly 10. And this guy, I don't see him not being activated in a game. Consistency for him is not an issue. It was always the firepower behind him that was lacking. But with this squad and the way that they're playing right now, Reckoning, they are a team to be feared right now. Even Velocity, the mentality in their camp was not that great. Let's see if they are able to bounce back today, if they are able to win the map number 1, because that would really put a sail to their sails.
Definitely, it would add some wind in their sails. Velocity desperately need that. They need the breeze to flow in their favor. And it really is important, especially when you consider the grand scheme of things, right? When you've got players who played for teams like Fnatic, 100 Thieves, Liquid in the past, it becomes really difficult to digest the fact that you're losing against South Asian teams who have never been beyond the Challenger League. They're trying for ascension at best, but this would be a massive fall from grace for both Doma and Eccles if they fail today. It's essential that they win this game. Right off the bat, we will see the bans of Split and Fracture. Reckoning bans Split because why not? They are not very confident on it, and they did have some trouble last time. Velocity, on the other hand, no surprises with the Fracture ban. They never like playing it, but Reckoning have already thrown in a curveball. They pick up the Lotus map. Now this definitely will be interesting. And Velocity first picking Bind, even though they lost the last game?
What?
Okay then.
I really hope we do see something new from them, because if they still stick with the same agent comp, I would just be flabbergasted, man. That is a very bold pick to have, and especially after the way you lost. I mean, that's crazy. And then the final decider map is going to be the map of Ascent. So this, if this is a veto and if you have to declare a winner, I'd say it is clearly Reckoning. All the maps, I'd say, are in their favor. They have all the knowledge they need to fight against Team Velocity on the map of Wide. But how do they play this map themselves? That is another big question that because of which I think Velocity might have forced this map. They wanted Team Reckoning to be surprised.
Exactly. I mean, Reckoning, they need to be very careful about this one, you know, because Velocity have only played one game of Lotus so far, and that was against God's Reign, which they lost 10-13. So that is definitely a problem for Reckoning Esports. But if I speak about the stats that Reckoning Esports has on Lotus, they have an absolutely flawless record. They were able to defeat ASTER, God's Reign and MLT Esports in 3 maps on Lotus. They have won every single Lotus game that they've played so far. So if Velocity are first picking Lotus against Reckoning, I can only assume it's because they studied the Reckoning team and they know what their tendencies are. This has to be a counter pick. If it's not, if they're picking it and hoping to play on their own game, then Velocity is doomed.
Wow. Plus the agent comp too. I mean, Reckoning are running that double controller comp with Flamin on the Harbor and you have Trist on the Viper. Deadly is gonna go with the Jet and you have Harsh with the Sky. That's a very, I'd say, a very interesting composition. Whereas Velocity, they do have Deathmaker on the Raze. LF is gonna play that Omen and the double initiator Sky and Breach. Doma will play the Cypher, so he will be responsible for handling all sort of flanks and everything. But other than that, this is literally a contrasting pick by both these teams. On the one side, you have Team Reckoning who are playing control heavy, whereas Velocity, their entries are not going to be that quick, but their executes, if perfectly thrown in, they will be very, very, very hard to stop, considering Excali has a lot of utility and flashes to help his team to get into the side.
Exactly. Excali, Amaterasu with the double flash setup. You combine that with Hellfighter's Paranoia, and Velocity will be an execute demon. Reckoning, on the other hand, will like to take things slowly and steadily with the double controller setup. But Deathmaker starts off things with a bang. Right off the bat, we have a nice headshot from him, while Reckoning were trying to make contact towards B.
See though, they slowly just fade back. Velocity, they get the numbers, they fade back. And now even Heleth has that information that there is someone C main. Both these teams are fighting for the B and C sides respectively. But I think at the end it is going to be a C hit for Team Reckoning. All of the players are just grouping up together outside C, waiting for the smoke to fade and then the execute will start. You do not have the wall, neither do you have the Viper wall to invest. So that is something you need to consider. How will you take care about the choke points? And you have 2 players defending this side. So let's see Reckoning. What do they have in mind?
Hey, at least Velocity's Cypher setup is not anywhere towards the C side. So if Harsh is able to throw out these flashes and hopefully bait out a rotation, it will be great. But Velocity are not going to bite this bait. Now they've been spotted. Paranoia at the ready. As soon as Excali makes contact, the Paranoia will be sent through, but Excali has already been executed. And it's all down to Hellfighter. Backup has arrived in form of Deathmaker over here. And even though he started off this round brilliantly, he can't follow up against Flabin's firepower.
LF has also been spotted down. Both the players could just walk out, but no! The spam connects! LF and Amaterasu are able to get one each, but Moya!
Wow!
With a 3k and then Harsh trading him out. Reckoning, yes, they lose the first player, but they are the ones who come out as the victors in the round.
Voya, what a sharp shot! He turns around 90 degrees to shoot the other guy in the head coming out from halls, and then instantly snaps back to the guy in waterfall. How on earth do you pull that off? That's just mechanical supremacy from Voya, and good follow-up from Harsh as well. Reckoning Esports win a 4v5, even though they lost one of their major players early on.
What a recovery. What a recovery. Voya just steps up and says, yeah, Deadly, I get it. There was a lucky shot that DM connected on you. Yeah, maybe I'll get 3 of my own. That's how we win the round. And now this round shouldn't be a problem. You only have 1 upgraded pistol, that to Deathmaker with just a ghost. It's not really a big threat. But yeah, just be wary about it. Just let's make sure that you're able to execute onto the site properly. Deadly will be the first one to take contact, and there goes the ghost. Reckoning should have this round easy peasy.
Oh, yep, he is indeed making it look easy. A tiny gap above the high tide, and Amaterasu tries to exploit it, but Deadly is farming. Excali finally stops him, but not before he takes much more damage than he can anytime heal up. And Doma's just waiting for his death. The sweet release of death, but he at least grabs the weapon back. Warrior to instantly deny once again, and Reckoning keep it clean. Only losing 2 guns in the process.
Not even 2. One of the, I mean, Voya was just playing on a ghost, so he.
Oh yeah, so just 1 gun in the process.
Just 1 gun lost, exactly. Not a big thing at all. And now you just invest into the rifle for sure. Voya goes in with the Vandal for himself, and that will be the rifle that around which Team Reckoning will like to play. That's a great investment to have, and it could have been a quick B hit considering the lower weapons that you have. But I think it'll be a basic default where Test will throw the Viper wall out here, maybe And then try. Okay, it's a wiper ball towards the C side, and it is an execute towards the C side as well. And none of the players of Velocity are here to receive except for Doma. So Doma will be challenged out heavily, and he goes down. What? No frags to his name, and Deadly says Tata bye-bye to him.
Dashing into the cloudburst. Doma even saw it coming. He knew that Deadly would avoid the tripfires, but he positioned himself in the cloudburst simply to stop him in his tracks, and that doesn't happen. Deadly now has a gun. More importantly, they've got the sight, and Velocity don't have too much to retake with. Yes, Excali has one flash and Amaterasu has one too, but the crossfires of Reckoning are just too strong for the moment.
How do you deal with this? Look at this. They are just wasting time. They are throwing util. Now Flabin has been moved away from the angle, but the spike has been planted for spam position. And Boya and Harsh are making things work. There's another frag. Excali. He will just die to Trist's Molly. Again, Reckoning. They find that first frag. They find that very crucial point of, I'd say, insertion for them into the side. And they are able to exploit it. They are able to get into the side and get the third round for themselves.
My goodness, this is quite a massacre from Reckoning Esports. Velocity threw everything at them. But Reckoning are just playing so smartly. You can see that TP is coming in from Hellfighter. He really tried to get the jump on to Harsh, and he almost did. But everyone else was marking his angle.
Yep.
And as soon as they try to take control of Bend, Velocity Gaming end up losing a lot of their players. But Reckoning just fall back, and then Trist's Molly burns everybody out. Once again, Reckoning Esports not hesitating to go to its C at all. They use the Cascade, take control of Mound, and even the ultimate orbs taken. Velocity will place the dark cover just to hold them back for the time being, but Velocity now are just starting to rotate when Reckoning are peeling away from this area. Velocity need to play a bit more aggressively in order to gather information. The only person who can actually gather information on this team is Excali with his flashes, and yes, he will throw out a guiding light from B, which will blind Triss for the time being. And this means Velocity still have no actionable information. They've seen Reckoning hit C, they have a Cascade on A, and the flash confirmed presence on B, so Velocity think they're all over the map.
That's the power of double controller. That's how you work with it. And finally, I see a team who knows how to play the composition that they have. And now finally this execute onto the C side. The flash is great, but no one executes on the back of it. They are waiting for these one-way cages to go away. Or even better, they pivot towards that B side. They will find a little bit of resistance over here because there are two players who can put an arm to their execute. The shots though are not landing at all. And Deadly does one better. He gets one with a shorty. Boya will trade out a player.
Spike planted.
That should be it. Velocity locked out of the side and should be locked out of the round.
Unless they keep giving away guns to Doma like this. Now Doma has the neural theft as well, so he should be able to figure out the positions of all these players. But even with the neural theft thrown and positions revealed, he can't break this crossfire. Unless Reckoning do something to help them break it. Matras is just hoping to buy some distraction, buy some time, and Doma's been stunned by his own teammate. Oh, this is a disaster. At least he doesn't get killed. But he sprays them both down! What a recovery from the Cypher! Doma stepping up when it's absolutely required.
Clutch.
Oh, the double peak was a good attempt, but it was unnecessary. The player did not tap the spike. And they fall for it. The double peak comes in. Doma cleans up both. And Velocity, they win a round they had no business winning. An eco round where Doma's the hero gets a 4K and puts Team Velocity back in contention. Reckoning won't have a problem buying into this round, but Velocity will just say thank you to Doma right now because he is the saving grace in that round.
And I really thought that would be a problem. As soon as he got stunned by Amaterasu's fault line, I thought he was done for. But he manages to clear out the right corner. And Amaterasu made the other two people playing on B upper to peel away. That's what broke the crossfire. Amaterasu basically took the bait upon himself and set up Doma for success. But I would still say Reckoning did no wrong. Doma just got super lucky in that one. Plus, mechanical prowess coming into play. This time though, Reckoning Esports hold nothing back. They invest the Reckoning, pun intended. Flabin uses the ultimate to clear out rubble at the very least. But Velocity have still rotated 3 players over towards the A site. Psych! They're not going A at all. In fact, they break the door down and they hit B once more.
I must wait a moment.
The Doma this time around with the camera can just spot, give information, but cannot do much about it. Although still, Reckoning is not committing on the back of it. They are making noise. They still want the players of Team Velocity to over-rotate. But with this Trailblazer, it will all be clear. Now they'll know that this is an A-side hit. Let's see what can Deathmaker do. Nothing till now, and then gets picked off too. So Deadly and Flamin, perfect entries into this side. Amaterasu trying to get a spam frag left and right, but that won't happen. Also, Excali just pushes off, gets one, even gets the Flamin there. That's, now time is something you'll need to be concerned about when Amaterasu falls without a frag. Doma, it's all on him once again. In a 1v2, the Mollies are forcing him in a very uncomfortable spot. And he pushes out, does not check that angle. Harsh will clean him up, and Reckoning get their fourth.
Jeez, when Reckoning decided to go for that little pause over there inside of B-Link, they baited out so much utility from Velocity. Excali barely had any flashes left. He had just one. Amaterasu was not in a position to use his own flashes on time, and then even the smokes from Hellfighter, which was being used to just keep Reckoning at bay, were already deployed. Doma had to just use his spy cam as much as possible to figure out whether they're actually committing towards B or not. So this really puts Velocity in a limbo of sorts. Now, this round would have been much more simple for Reckoning if it wasn't for Excali's heroics. He decided to just give up his own life and dive right into the site, hoping to deny the plant. But even then, on the back of his aggression, his teammates did not follow up on time, which means the spike plant was denied, and there was very little time left, but they still couldn't stop Reckoning. And Reckoning, man, like, what can I say? I mean, on paper, they're running a double duelist, but in theory and in practice, it's more like a triple... I'm sorry, not a double duelist, my bad. The double controller. Forgive me for that one. In theory, it's almost like a triple controller because they're even using the Cloudburst to close out the narrow gaps while crossing into the A site. They use the Cloudburst to avoid fighting towards a top. Now, there was a little gap in the smoke which Deathmaker could have exploited, but then again, when Reckoning are hitting their shots so well, what can you possibly do to stop them? I mean, even double peeking is not solving the answer, solving the questions for you. So, at this point, Velocity really are running out of options, and also running out of money.
It is again another C piece where you still have players watching flank, but this is very necessary for Team Velocity to continuously do. They need to push, they need to flank one of these players so that they are able to catch him off guard, and there we go. LF, yes, reduced to just 8 HP, but he's done his job. Although, the players of Reckoning are not stopping. That's a brilliant trip set up by Doma, but no one is able to take the advantage. Flamin gets Excali's head, but Doma is finally able to put Deadly 10 to rest. That is a very necessary frag achieved, and now Flamin will get this spike down too. Again on the very spammable angle. Velocity, the retake is going to be tough with Doma. Has just a sheriff for himself.
Yeah, but at least Deathmaker and Hellfighter have the bigger weapons. I'm assuming Hellfighter might just pass his weapon over towards Doma, but never mind. He's just gonna die instantly. And Doma too has no say in this round. Deathmaker has the showstopper, so if he tries to use it now, he might just get them both. At least he will definitely get Flamin, who's faking his presence. He uses the high tide to fake the fact that he has fallen back, but never mind. Warrior just gets into the turret instead. A dink followed with the turret bink. It just really just gets him. And it's really funny to see this round pan out in this fashion.
Deadly was dancing inside. Gets taken down. The flank was good. LF, the idea was great, but why didn't you continue with it is my question, Velocity. You had a weapon. You even received a weapon from the player you took down. You just continue the flank there. As soon as Doma calls that the players are executing into the side, you quickly flank, you try to take out the player, try to set up for lineup. It woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, Velocity, they do not find the round. This time around, they'll have weapons to work with, and they are trying to fight for a rubble. So then LF just gets caught, trying to reload. My god, Trist is a rat, and I just love seeing him.
Exactly, dude. Last time Trist was pushed down by 3 players on a main. And this time he uses his Poison Cloud to surprise at least one of them. Deadly picks up the pace. High Tide has been deployed. He destroys the camera. But he better hope he doesn't get spammed down. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Deathmaker kills him without even seeing him. Hey, at least it's back to a 4v4. Hellfighter dead doesn't really stop Velocity. They even have the right read. They can hear the footsteps and Velocity are positioned correctly. But Excali tries to peek ahead and Boya takes his head off.
He did not
Doma
know
also
Voya
won't
was
be able to
elbow.
do much.
And that should be the round, yep. Voya gets the second too. He snuck into elbow without anyone noticing, and Excali was no wiser to it. He also gets taken down. And for some reason, Trish still dropped the Viper's Pit. I think because Amaterasu had the Rolling Thunder and Showstopper for Deathmaker, that could be one of the reasons for Trish to just drop that ultimate. Make sure that they do not invest these ultimates into this round. And Reckoning get their 6th. A 6-1 lead though, Crips. Isn't it a too big of a lead? I know it is an attacking map. But hey, 6-1 with again the next round, which on paper should be in your favor because LF, Excali and Doma cannot buy. That's a great W in my books for Team Reckoning.
Indeed. Reckoning Esports are not only showing presence all over the map, making Velocity run around quite a lot, but every time Velocity actually figured out what's happening, Reckoning are still able to get into the site by hitting shots like these. What even was that? Like, that's some ridiculous spray control right there. I'm not saying that his flash was perfect, I'm not saying that Velocity can't dodge it or whatever, but when all of Reckoning's players are hitting their shots so consistently, there's really not much that Velocity can do to stop it. Unless they hit them back first. But so far, the only round that Velocity win was one they had no business winning, you know? It was a 1v2 from Doma, which enabled them to put the first round on board. Otherwise, they would still be sitting at 0 and Reckoning would be at 7. Down to Sheriff's Inspectors once again. Hellfighter doing whatever he can do best. He's just using the Dark Sword to hold them back. Deadly 10 like an absolute Chad. Dry peeks out of that smoke and still kills Hellfighter.
Even Voya gets that frag onto the end. So whatever part of the map you try to be proactive on, you will get punished. This time around, Reckoning was just playing default. They exactly knew that this is their eco for Velocity. They won't have a lot of weapons, and the 2 weapons that were saved in the previous round, those are the weapons with which the hero plays would be attempted. And they just shut them down instantly. Excali is still in possession of a Spectre to work with. I don't know how much will it be able to help him down. The comb perfectly set up to make sure Deadly does not die. Although Doma once again always good for one, this guy. Trish is able to trade it out. And now Excali and Amaterasu in a 2v4 situation.
One enemy remaining.
Brave push from Excali. Although the fruits of his labor will not yield anything this round. Hey, even though Velocity are losing, that too by quite a terrible margin, there is one silver lining over here. Doma is personally doing whatever he can to counter Deadly 10 at best. His strip fires almost always catch him. There was just one time where Deadly 10 dashed into a cloudburst and killed Doma. After that, he positions his strip fires so well that even if Deadly 10 updrafts over it, he still gets caught. And somehow he finds the shots with the Sheriff once again to kill
Get
Deadly
out of my
10.
way!
This round, on the other hand though, Velocity should be playing a little more aggressively considering they have so many ultimates.
Exactly, but still Deadly is able to get into the side. Now Doma will be put to test. Catches the player, catches both the players on his strip fires, but again there is no one to help him on site. He is entirely locked out, but I think Velocity is happy with that. To retake, they have a Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper. 2 major ultimates to work with.
You should
But let's see how are these invested. Lockdown to just deny everything. That is just so sad right now. Deadly gets a
No way.
You still cannot enter into the side. The Showstopper will destroy the lockdown. But Deadly with his knife is doing exactly what his name suggests. Killing everyone.
Seekers invested, they give them the information they need, but they still need the frags. Hellfighter is able to put Deadly 10's killing spree to an end, but Flav and a harsh follow-up. It was a valiant attempt by Velocity. I love how Deathmaker just used this Showstopper to dive deep into its tree. This killed one player and destroyed the lockdown, so that's a little less pressure onto the shoulders of Velocity. He at least takes the time pressure away from them. But the Rolling Thunder had nothing on them. Deadly was completely unaffected by the concussions, and he jumps above the drop just to get 2 clean headshots.
Thanks.
I mean, at this point, if you're Velocity, what do you even do? On paper, you did nothing wrong. Deathmaker dove in and did his job. Amaterasu used his Rolling Thunder really well, but if Deadly is slicing and dicing like this, man oh man, even with the ultimates and the utility plays perfectly, Velocity can't get a win. They can't catch a break. and once again, they've been relegated to their eco weapons.
I do feel bad for Team Velocity right now because Doma sets up C, Reckoning hits C. Doma sets up A, Reckoning hit A. Somehow they're always able
And
to
still-
isolate Doma. Exactly, still they enter the side. This time around they've smoked out the turret. They are going in for a very quick flank just to be found out by alarm bot is what I think. Although Reckoning, they have halted for a little bit, so this still could be a very difficult thing to handle. Deadly inside, just takes the head out of Doma. LF though on flank is finally able to do something. Flamin
Spike
goes down.
planted.
Now it's a 4v4 retake, and Reckoning do not have a lot of space to work inside with. Excali just needs to make sure he holds out CT. The flash is good, but he does not see the player on right, and Boya, he is the one who is trying to make things happen. Deadly flash, blind as a bat, still gets the
No.
flash. Trish gets the perfect timing, and suddenly Reckoning seem like they're in control.
Both Hellfighter and Excali get so unlucky. Okay, Amaterasu finding a nice shot through the smoke, but he gets return fire upon. Everybody just firing on all cylinders. They're pumping his guts full of lead. A 9-1 lead for Reckoning. I, for one, did not see this coming.
Not at all. I mean, I do consider that Velocity previously, even in Split 1, in the first few games of Split 2, were banning Lotus. But I did not know this is the reason for it. They are really not prepared. I do not see any sort of protocols to help Doma out on site. I do not see any protocols to not over-rotate or call the shots. And Velocity again and again fall into the tricks and fooleries that Reckoning is throwing at them. The
And
fake
the
wall on
problem
C.
is, the problem is, if they were falling to Reckoning's tricks all this time, it would be understandable if Reckoning were actually going for it. But at this point, Reckoning aren't really showcasing too much presence on different parts of the map. They're just going for really fast hits, and even then, it's a
yeah.
problem. At least in this particular round, the early aggression towards A gets them the kill onto Deadly. But the rest of them are still splitting towards both B and C.
Here.
Doma, just to check if anyone's over there,
Down with
will ask Excali to fire a flash.
God.
The flash will spot somebody over there, but at the same time, the spike gets discovered towards B.
No
Doma
way.
tries to fall back, tries to help out the B side guy, but he will get caught in the process.
For some reason, there was a solo mission attempted by Amaterasu to re-clear B without any information. He gets caught out. The duel gets lost out female. And now you have Flaban who just takes out the head of Deathmaker. Everything falling apart for VLT except for the first flag that Excali was able to get. And now they find themselves in a 2v4 situation where, yeah, this small little timing went their way, but the numbers aren't, and I don't think so the round will be also theirs.
30 seconds left.
Unless Hellfighter and Excali pull off a miracle, this 2v4 seems nearly impossible.
Spike planted.
At least Hellfighter puts down the smoke to go cross towards rubble. But little does he know that Flabbin's waiting for him on the other side. Nicely catches Trist off guard. He didn't expect to jump upstairs, but he's making too much noise and Flabbin's well aware about this
One
one.
enemy remaining.
Easy.
Has it in the bag. And then next guy also gets nothing. 10-1? Is my
Last
is
round
this a
before the
13-1
switch.
scoreline? Because no money available for Velocity in this round. You will be facing down the gun of the barrel of a gun. And you're looking at an 11-round half from a team like Reckoning against Velocity. Something is not happening correct. I mean, Reckoning, yes, they are playing fabulous, but Velocity, it seems like now everyone is on their own trying to make little plays to help them win the round.
Yeah. Disjointed plays.
This is a nice
Seldom form a big picture. This camera is a lot more aggressive, but flashes from Hirsch will push him back already. And while Reckoning are showing a lot of presence towards the C side, it's up to Woya this time to stop the push on A, and he will be unsuccessful. Twist will at least kill Excali pushing out on the B side, but then he can just safely cross on the other side. And he will discover that B is empty as well. At the same time, Reckoning invested along with the Seekers push Doma all the way out of C. Matrasu gets caught off guard. The Orin spam was correctly placed, but Trist is able to use the movement to his advantage. And he might just catch Doma as well. Doma giving him the chase, and Trist is just luring him in.
See, Doma does not even get
No
the
way.
frag. Trist from not even side, he's able to just pick up 3 Velocity players. And yeah, Deathmaker, what can you do, my man?
standing.
Not even one. Harsh get the final frag and Reckoning. That's a dream start to confirm your
Switching
confirm
sides.
your place in qualification. What a half. What a dominating half, and it could have very well been a 12-0 half for the side of Reckoning. The only saving grace Velocity had was Doma with his 4K.
Yeah, 4K 1v2 is the only thing that gets Velocity a single round in this half. Reckoning, which is so dynamic. In the first few rounds, they were splitting all across the map and showcasing presence which bamboozled Velocity. And then they change up the pace by just hitting the sites with brute force. Even with 4 ultimates, Velocity can't do much to retake these sites, and they definitely can't hold them as well. Is this going to be a complete whiteout? I hope that Velocity can somehow mount a comeback to keep this competitive. We'll see you with the second half on the other side.
Hit for my wings, I need my eggs. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Bro, fridge meat के लिए, heat के लिए नहीं. Bro, this graphics card is making my frames drop. Come with me if you want a game.
The all-new Omen 16 with advanced Tempest cooling technology, now with 5 heat pipes and 4 thermal outlets. The Omen 16 with 12th Gen Intel Core i7 processor to make you forget your frame drops.
Now that's cool.
Game on with Tempest cooling.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Yes, I'm a Gen Z, or should I say, the Gen Next. And I don't let fear hold me back from doing anything. I choose to move fearlessly to it all.
Hey buddy, we need you to trim your beard for this next scene.
What? Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I move fearlessly in most things, but I draw the line here. What if I Nico cut myself?
Try this.
Phillips.
Hit for my wings, I need my eggs. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Welcome back to Omen Valorant Challenges South Asia. Driven by Hyundai, and our styling partner is Philips One Blade. My goodness, Reckoning are styling on Velocity Gaming now. They're driving them home, driving back to home base. 11-1? This has to be some nightmare, right? I must be dreaming about this one. I never thought that Velocity Gaming had a good chance on Lotus, but I didn't expect them to get destroyed in such a tremendous fashion. The only round that Velocity were able to get was the 1v2 clutch from Doma. And now he will be called upon once more.
That's a bait.
Deadly backs off, but he sets up Hoya with the
Spike
perfect
down,
bait.
B.
Only one! That's what Hoya is able to get. So at least Velocity still have some leg in this round.
Although the backup's all there onto the B side, you have 2 different players holding 2 different choke points, and then the flank from Triss too. They are still hoping that they do get some control out A main, but then the player from A link can just drift in and help Harsha on the side. So Reckoning have everything figured out right now, and it is all possible because Triss has already snuck in towards their spawn. The flash will confirm the presence, and Deadly is again available over here to receive. One of the players crosses out, Amadrasu crosses out, but Deadly
Spike
gets
down
one.
A.
He is still able to find the frag, although Doma finally good for the trade. And look at the HP bar for DM. It's not looking good at all for Velocity even now.
When has it ever looked good in this map?
30
Harsh
seconds
using the
left.
Trailblazer. He will discover exactly what's happening, sees the both of them. And now at least Reckoning can start converging upon them. Hey, the silver lining over here is Reckoning have their players all spread out, so Velocity will be offered 1v1s. At least trades won't go in their favor. And just like that, these 1v1s are being converted. They now know where Harsh is as well. All 3 guns trained at him. Flash, picked out, and that's another round for Velocity. Hey, at least the pistol goes in their favor, so it still has some some hope.
5%, maybe even lower than that, but yeah, there is something available now. Voya should have been good for at least 2 there. He was perfectly set up to do a lot of damage in the backline. Could have even gone for a trigger discipline play. But yeah, after that it was just solo attempts coming in from the side of Team Reckoning, try to go in 1 by 1, get taken down 1 by 1. And Reckoning, this time around they do not win the pistol. Although still they'll be able to afford 2 different sheriffs. Voya and Deadly are looking to make things work. And they are in the right direction to do so. Now Deathmaker peeks, but the headshot is not there. The Trailblazer, the fault line, everything will put Arch in a lot of difficulty. Although the trades finally happen and Velocity, they get a 3-1 trade, and that's a very good trade to fight.
Yeah, Velocity desperately needed this. And as soon as they realize that the rest of Reckoning has rotated towards the B side, they give it up. They switch the door and they head towards the C side. At the same time, they've also left Doma as a lurker towards the B side. So in case somebody tries to chase them, Doma will be responsible for stopping them. Well, I mean, this round looks done and dusted, right? Reckoning have just 13 HP combined. And Velocity have 4 guns, so this should be a decent round for Velocity. Reckoning will have full buy in the next round, and that should give them some fighting chance, but so far, Voya can't really do much.
I thought Voya would be able to take out another weapon out of the hands of Team Velocity, but that's not the case. But this time around, you have to play with a couple of Spectres. Maybe Amaterasu gets dropped the rifle from Helef. But yeah, he does not. They want to play bonus. They want to play bonus here. That's a very bold decision to make. Because if Reckoning win the round, they are on game point. And at some point, Reckoning will have enough ultimates to win them the round. So it is a very risky decision from Team Velocity. Let's see if it works out or not, because this very early fight on Rubble can get really, really messy. Oh my, what?
Alright.
Deadly starts off like that. I mean, now Reckoning should be feeling very, very comfortable. And they don't even know. But still, Excali is able to hold on to the spray. He is able to get that frag, and even Amaterasu is able to take down Flabbit. Both the players missing easy shots. Harsh has been dropped to 25 HP, and this is their entry to the day side.
Yeah, Flabbin was also playing in a one and done position. He was hoping to just get the trades down positively. So he was well versed with the risk. But man, he is bad at math. And this time he doesn't get what he desired. So Velocity still have a say in this round. They can still convert the buy and turn this game around. Maybe this is just a half thing. Maybe it's just that the attacking side teams will be more dominant. At least that's what it seems like for now. And after losing the early A main fights, Revenant Esports have fallen so far behind. They are giving up a lot of control of the map to Velocity. Trailblazer clears B, but after everything's been cleared, Voya peeks out of the smoke and he kills Scally. Doma down, so is Harsh.
30 seconds
Everybody
left.
who tries to peek out of these smokes is meeting an early death.
It's all down to Trist, and he has these fights isolated if he's able to take down Doma. That's the first piece of the puzzle. He isolates him, gets the headshot onto Amaterasu, but Doma pushes in. He does not respect the smoke, and why would he? He has been having a great day till now. And Velocity, they find the fourth, they find the ever so important bonus round and keep it in their favor.
Sheesh. Only after looking at it in the replay did I realize how cool was Deadly's shot. He was able to kill Deathmaker mid-air. Man was sattling across. That's a cool shot. He could have had so many more frags. He almost caught Amaterasu off guard. Even Flabbin caught him off guard, you know. So Amaterasu survived 2 duels which he had no business surviving. Well, at least this makes this game a lot more interesting. Reckoning Esports finally take a timeout. It's about time that they finish this off.
And that's a very, I'd say, important time to call them, because Velocity, before they start stringing rounds, let's just cut their feathers away and let's just take the game with us. I mean, the call would be very, very simple, guys. Let's just focus on the basics, focus on what we've prepared, because we have enough buffer rounds to make sure that we win the game. I mean, 11-1 half, I have seen the best possible comeback from a 10-2 scoreline, but never from an 11-1.
I mean, if you last long enough, you'll probably see a 12-0 comeback someday. But I mean, we haven't seen anything of that sort in BCSI so far. Maybe today is the day. Maybe Velocity bounces back. Smoke put down by Hellfighter, and Flabin still finds one. Frags all across the board. Flabin gets one towards the B side. Meanwhile, on C, they have lost Deadly 10. But even though most of the people on the server were positioned towards the A side, no fights take place over there. None of the people of Reckoning challenge Hellfighter's smoke. And Velocity, even though they tread upstairs, they aren't able to get anything towards the A side. They don't even try to poke their heads in. They venture back towards C. This time in a very slow and silent approach. They look to make a contact play. They will most likely just burst out. Trailblazer nades, everything thrown in. Flavin tanks the damage.
What?
The Baronair doesn't hit him, and he's spraying down everybody. Finally, Amaterasu puts him down. But he's already done the job. Flavin's already secured a massive advantage for his team. And I'm pretty sure that Hush will try to dive inside as soon as the spike is tapped. But no, Amaterasu challenges them all. Now that's a game changer.
That indeed is, and now Trist try
30
to play around
seconds
with the
left.
frenzy and will be taken down by Amaterasu. A very important round to find for Velocity, because if they lose this, that would have been a heartbreak. A heartbreak, but Flabin, great attempt from my guy. He gets one, gets the rifle up, and gets two more after that. That is a crazy, crazy way to almost win the round in your favor. Does not happen though. Amaterasu steps up huge, and is able to put Velocity on the fifth round.
Yeah, but there's still a long way to go. Velocity have strung together 4 in a row, which puts their money also in a decent situation. Means even if they lose a lot of members, they shouldn't have too many problems. But then again, they can't afford to lose these rounds. Once again, a similar smoke has been put up by Hellfighter. This is to make sure that nobody from Reckoning will push out. Now Velocity will creep up and then make a contact play on the back of it. The Rolling Thunder will be countered by the Reckoning itself. And the tiny gap, it might be exploited, but Harsh is gonna probably die. So he swings out, hoping to kill one more player before the paint shots take him. But Deathmaker's on fire, almost died once again to the snake bite.
There.
Survives though, and now will be reset too. That's great. Excali had the regrowth available. And let's see a 3v4 retake. Not gonna be possible.
No
DM is
way.
just popping. He is just popping off, and he got 4. It's better for Deadly to just save the weapon. It's a very huge investment, and he is the only one who cannot purchase in if they lose this round. If he loses the operator. The other ones, they still have enough money, and with the loss bonus, that will continue.
Yeah, my
It
ult's
should be
ready.
good. But what a shot! If he is able to hit a shot like that in the next round, Velocity will be in trouble.
Well, they definitely will be in trouble. But for now, Deathmaker's just looking for his ace. If nothing else, they just want to stop Deadly 10 from saving this op. That's one way to rally the troops. That definitely will help Velocity get some wind in their sails. Deathmaker popping the hell off. He knew he had to make that play as soon as he got
Yeah,
killed.
my ult's ready.
And he just swings and strikes everywhere. Great way to gather momentum. Great way to pick up the pace. And now Reckoning will have to face the wrath of Deathmaker because he has come alive.
Activated, and also has a showstopper available for this round. So now these ultimates will start to hurt the players of Team Reckoning Esports. The early flash won't find anything. Trist, yes, stunned, but I think he has some supporting neutral from his KJ2 on the side. So shouldn't be a problem to stop this. Push coming in, and that is exactly what happens. Trist gets one, also spawns critically, gets out, and gets the second. Deadly with the trade onto Excali and Velocity. Their plans of bursting out onto the side just gets read by the players of Team Reckoning, and they have been reduced to nothing but ashes.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and Reckoning. They must win this round. Velocity, with their backs against the wall, have nowhere to go. They're staring defeat in the face, and yet they find the courage to keep going. But there is a long way to go, and the journey is arduous. The path is laden full of spikes, and they will have to tread upon the passage that preys on the weak. Can Velocity muster the courage to carry on? Can they somehow string 6 rounds together to mount one of the best comebacks of all time? Or will this be a map that gets rewarded to Reckoning Esports? They can feel the victory already. They can taste it. Almost even grasp it. But for the time being, Reckoning will be pushed back. Smoke from Hellfighter keeps them away. Keeps them from aggressing onwards. But elsewhere, Warrior strikes, and that's Doma down.
That's a very crucial frag. Because now, not only you'll have to worry about your flags, the post plants will also become difficult.
Destroyed.
Mad Deal, the final boss for you. Deathmaker almost got that haircut. So guys, now the Seekers will also be thrown in. Slab's position known, it does not even matter. They just run right into a crossfire. Give the spike into their hands, and then Deadly is there to just close out the game, I hope. In a 1v3, DM, can you find a clutch? Bit by the dog, stunned completely, being just pushed in from all three directions, and a shorty in the hands of Deadly. We don't even see the finale, but we know that Team Reckoning Esports have just won the game.
Yeah, I guess it was just a bit too brutal to show what happened next. The suspense about how he died will kill you, but Deathmaker also will be killed in the process. Reckoning Esports win map number 1 in this crucial game against Velocity Gaming. They are one map away from eliminating one of the best teams from this tournament. The Lotus pick goes swellingly in the favor of Reckoning Esports. Up next is Bind, a map which Velocity has picked for themselves, but they haven't had impressive results on it. Neither has Reckoning for that matter. It's gonna be a mysterious map, one that we haven't seen before, but you definitely know that it will be a nail-biter, ladies and gentlemen. Velocity Gaming, they must win this one. Otherwise, that's going to be everyone's favorite team eliminated from VCSA very early. Will they be able to win this? We'll find out on the other side of this break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Feeling under pressure.
get imports of such high caliber. players who have competed in Champions as well as Masters are now struggling to get to the playoffs of the Challenger League. And I don't think anybody saw this one coming. The final map stands in between Reckoning Esports and a certain playoff qualification. Velocity, on the other hand, are fighting for their tournament lives, and they will be facing Reckoning on Bind. The Asian compositions are in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. We don't see any deviations from the last time they played this game. We see the stage once again come out, and I hope this time Velocity are much better prepared for this game. There is too much riding on this game. There is too much at stake. Excali will have to deliver. Hellfighter will have to play harder than ever, and Doma will have to be super consistent. Speaking of consistency, Deathmaker will need to find his. If not, this will be the end of the journey for Velocity Gaming.
But Reckoning once again have cooked something up. Harsh on a KO, all good. Voya on a fade. Now
we haven't
these are
seen a
the
lot of
two
fade.
initiators. These are the, I'd say, the most useless initiators on a map like Bind. And you have them both. Let's see how do they rock this one out. Velocity, all plus completely suppressed. But one thing you cannot suppress is DMZ. He gets that first and Excali gets the second too. Finally the util will come in. The plant might just as well follow. But Velocity, they have taken a little bit of a decay because of the poison orb. But should be all good and fine. Velocity should be able to win the crystal.
Nice wall over there. It stops Velocity from... it stops Reckoning from pushing in and denying the spike plant. So Velocity can easily get inside at the very least. And then they reinforce on the lamps area. This will make it very difficult for Reckoning to re-clear this. They don't even have too many AoE abilities to help clear this. Oh, but they definitely have the aim, and they're able to get a lot of frags. A 30 of trades go through, and we are back to a 2v2. Reckoning circle back around. The wall breaks, and now they can continue going in via the normal channels rather than taking lamps for themselves. On the back of this smoke, they have to jiggle around with Excali, and he's perfect. Playing hide and seek along that barrier, and Doma also strikes when the moment is right. Velocity start off on the right foot.
Super important pistol to win. That's a very, very important pistol round to win. And especially when you're suppressed, there is no utility and you're still able to get those frags. That was an impressive moment. Although for a second it looked like Reckoning might just snatch it back, but no, Excali said no. Jumps into the smoke, is able to find the frag, and even Doma comes up with one. So Velocity, they find the first round for themselves on the board. And they are looking for more. 2 Bulldogs and a Phantom to work with in this round. So the remaining 2 will just be Spectres, and Harsh just jumps out, escapes through the teleporter. It is still a 3-man stack towards his B side, which could be very, very deadly. So let's see, Flamin playing on the corner of the smoke, could be super cheeky, gets one deadly, and even Flamin gets one of his own. Although the trade inside is good, but Voya sneaks out. He's on side. Gets nothing at all because Doma is there to clean up shop. In a 2v3, Reckoning they lost the numbers advantage. Although Flamin is in a very interesting spot. He has wrapped up all the way from B long and has spotted the spike. Now, both the players will be healed back up by Doma. And they still have the weaponry advantage. But how do they proceed? There is a Spectre for Flamin too. No. And Flamin gets a frag.
Wow.
It's a 2v2, drop the molly. You can buy more time. LF pushing in, gets his head taken off. Velocity. Do they get thrifted here? The push from Deathmaker.
No way!
Went down. That's a double headshot. And Reckoning Esports are back into the map.
Oh my goodness. Now, this is not something we expected, did we? When Flamin went in for the flank successfully, I had high hopes for him, and he definitely delivered. Although what I expected them to do is have Flamin just hold into that tiny cubby and wait for the contact of Harsh. And as soon as Harsh made contact, I expected Flamin to swing. But nope! This guy's brave! He's got the cojones the size of Jupiter, and he's able to peek them out all one by one. Frag wins for Reckoning Esports, a quad drop for Flamin. And that is how you kick things into high gear.
Oh, that's a bullet right in your face. You get the pistol, you think, yeah guys, it's a 2-0 early lead for us. Let's see how do we play on the back of it. But no. They just it is pistols that Reckoning need to completely put you down on the ground. And once again, Flamin With all the frags he got the previous round, he has his orbital strike ready. Deadly, an important fight with Deathmaker. DM is not able to land the shot and instantly backs off. Flamin though, he is still around a lot of players to smoke. As soon as it fades out, I think Velocity will try to execute into the side with the pistols they have. The Prowler will give information about one of the players. Oh yeah, with the eye. Spots two, but he's not able to take down any. LF though, Corona, Voka, you are going to be taken down one by one. LF has been spotted. Excali has been spotted down. DM, good for one. And gets the second one as well. Voya though emerges through the smokes, eliminates the threat. And DM with just 5 HP in a 1v3. I mean, I agree DM is a crap player, but this would be just too much.
Alright. This frag onto Triss gets him the paint shells once again, but it's probably not going to get him the spike. 20 seconds to go. Time is running out. His HP has already run out for the most part. And this is a near impossible task for even the gods like Deathmaker to pull off. Nobody from Reckoning giving him even an inch to work with. And when he shows a single inch of his foot, he will get sprayed down. Reckoning Esports are right back into this game after losing the pistol.
Enemy down.
I mean, DM tried his level best, even did Doma. He was able to assist the player up. But then DM put in a very difficult spot, just gets taken down, and yeah, Reckoning Esports, they get themselves a second. And they still have the orbital strike ready too. So that is another thing that will go in their favor. And now let's see how do they use it to harm the players of Team Velocity. And this half shield will be something that will be very difficult to pull off when the orbital strike is ready. The Deathmaker is able to get one. And Doma did not get seized over there. Lucky guy, he survives, and the orbital strike down the drain.
Yeah, if he got tethered, that would have been an instant kill.
Toxins going up.
So at least Velocity have survived the first encounter. They survived the ultimate.
Wow.
Labin, you can't survive him though. His ultimate might not do much, but he himself definitely can. And it takes another Brimstone to shut him down.
One enemy remaining.
Position correctly, never mind. Voya's down already, so now Harsh's position also won't matter all that much. I mean, he can still try, but his position's already discovered. The snake fight kind of tells you that they know the general area he's in. The Boombot doesn't give away his position, but if that doesn't, Excali will soon discover him.
Yep.
And Harsh will probably not recover this round.
That was a good investment, I'd say, in terms of size in this round. Yeah, he misses the timing and both the players.
God. Did they just walk
bats
past each other?
Exactly, they did. Excali did not notice, neither did Harsh. So yeah, it's good. I mean, Harsh is able to save the rifle. Chris does not have a lot of money, so he will be dropped by Harsh. And then they'll play the next round again with all the weapons possible. But Deathmaker, his showstopper is ready now. How do you counter that? Harsh has the knife, but he has to be on the right side of the map to throw that knife and try and shut down Deathmaker.
I still remember what Paradox did against Deathmaker over there. He dodged Deathmaker's showstopper by just satcheling away mid-air. And at that point, he wasn't playing Valorant. He was playing something along the lines of Mario, just jumping over the showstoppers. I wonder if Deadly can do something similar.
Let's see. For now though, Reckoning has the right read. They have two different players out. B and the Molly will buy so much more time. It is only DM who gets into the side now. Flabin gets one. Deadly with that operator even gets one. And he does not get taken down because of the rocket. Once again, look at this Reckoning Esports. They find themselves in an advantage, and Voya does one better. Puts a bullet right through Doma's skull.
Through a wall.
Forces the players, forces both of them to run to this A side.
And they are being greeted by Trist. He will use the snake bites to delay this as much as possible, but hey, there's still quite a lot of time and gap left. Voya dies, but Amaterasu is now down to very little HP. So is Hellfighter. The Viper Spit might just make things doable, but Deadly's coming across from the other side. And Hellfighter on the air to the smoke will be discovered by Harsh. Amaterasu has the orbital strike to delay this defuse, but then he's gonna be faced by Harsh himself, and there's more than enough time for them to defuse.
Once again, the small little setups, right? The small little setups from Team Reckoning. Oh, the early double kill they get. Goya winning the fight, and then even Deadly 10. I'm sorry, Flabin winning the fight, and then even Deadly 10 coming to support him down with that operator. Yes, the player gets traded out B long, but Deadly survives, and you survive with a man advantage. And suddenly the fight in hookup becomes important for Velocity to win. But as soon as Doma falls, it's a 4v2. It's a huge advantage for the players of Team Reckoning going into the retake. I mean, yes, Amaterasu has the orbital strike ready, and maybe even the Molotov for all Reckoning no. But that never gets used in a 3v1. Yes, you throw the orbital strike, but then you do not win the fight against Harsh, and Reckoning close out the round. It is a defensive-sided map, but with the very weird sort of composition that Team Reckoning are playing, I'd like to see the default attacks. Early suppression thrown in, gets information, has two of the players suppressed. The Velocity still confident enough to execute into this side. Harsh has all the utils to stop this push, and there is a one-way setup by Trace. You do not disrespect that without a util. Where is the flash from Doma? Finally gets popped, and Amaterasu is able to get one. The basic mistakes being committed from Velocity, and that has led them to lose the round. What a heartbreak of the round for the
One
Velocity.
enemy remaining.
Oh no. No way, not like this. I really thought Velocity had something planned out really well when they started to split push like that, but Reckoning Esports are able to deal with them every step of the way. Laban's on fire, dude. He's sitting on 11 frags already, while nobody else is even close to double digits. Forget 10, nobody else is even close to 5. And the timings for Reckoning Esports are just so damn perfect. Velocity try their level best to somehow recover the round. They try everything from falling back to pushing all the way inside and even going around, and it still doesn't help. Reckoning are in such deep positions that Velocity are forced to fight on the front lines and the back lines at the same time. Chaos and confusion grips them, ensues them, fuses itself into their bloodline as Velocity now look to eliminate all that chaos and somehow find a piece of advice that will help them through this dark time.
My God.
Maybe that advice will come from their coach. Maybe they'll devise it on their own. Wherever it comes from, whatever the source is, it better be a damn strong source.
But they do not have anything to work around with in this round. Yes, I mean, if Excali is able to get a frag or an op, you'll have the resurrection, but without good weapons, how good a resurrection can be. And on the other hand, Trist has that Viper Spit available, so that is again another great thing. And Deathmaker missing the satchel, but does not miss the shot.
No way.
That's a great frag, and Voya now will be very quick enough to maybe go for the trade. Will be a little bit paranoid too, but Deadly. Even he's not in a comfortable spot, but the shot he is, and instantly backs off too. The numbers equalized, and Reckoning still having the better weaponry are poised to win the round.
Oh, the flash was amazing, but Deadly still is able to get the better of Excali. That's what happens when you try to push him up close. Doma is able to punish him through the walls, but Warrior fires right back. Amaterasu with quick trades. He's able to recontrol lamps, but the moment he tries to switch his weapon, he will die. Oh, what an unfortunate round for Reckoning Esports. And with this defuse, Harsh will have his null command too.
Good attempt from Velocity. I mean, I get the point that they tried to run a standard wall plant, get into the side quick and play the post plant situation. But it did not work out because you did not have weapons. At least you got into the side and were able to get the spike down. That's the silver lining for this round. And it all started because DM was able to get the frag. Now Deadly won't be positioned here every time with a shotty to play in the smoke. So this was one of the situational rounds where Reckoning found themselves correctly at the correct time. But I'd like to see Velocity just hit the same strat again, this time around with better weapons. Because it is a very good strat where you do not lose players untraded especially. But Velocity, they decide not to do it. It's a very sort of a defaulty play where DM once again is able to win his duel against Hoya.
Deathmaker, whenever he goes towards the Shah's region, he's always able to win his duels. Labin spots two players and decides to cut his losses short, decides to fall back. At least when he's holding the angle from the side itself, he will have the backup of Deadly. He's got the deadly weapon in his hands, he's got the operator. But up against Deathmaker, he's still reluctant to peek. They will both go ahead at the same time, and the timing is just unfortunate. Deathmaker pulls out the nade, and Deadly pulls off all these shots. And the orbital strike gets one more. Flabin's able to kill as the wall is misplaced. And this is a disaster for Velocity.
Velocity, after the first frag, they give time for Team Reckoning to adjust. And that is exactly what Reckoning wanted. Flabin, man, he is so into the game right now. A 4K, another 4K this time around. And with 15 and 5, this guy is higher than anyone on his team combined. My god, what a game Flabin is having right now. The orbital strike perfectly positioned. Doma thought that there was a gap in which he could survive, but unfortunately it wasn't a gap left by him. It was a perfect orbital strike. He gets to, even takes down Excali, who was trying to beat the Grim.
Yeah, somehow Excali climbed up above his wall, like directly.
Yes. And he also gets shut down. I mean, everything right now is being expected by Team Reckoning Esports.
Bring them down.
Deadly though has that operator, and Doma is about to peek in it. Does he have enough discipline to not peek that angle without a flash? He jumps and he gets taken down. Deadly is not missing those. The knife will also maybe give some information, or it doesn't even need to, because Harsh on top of containers is able to take down DM's head. And as soon as they find all these advantages, Reckoning just fall back to their usual places, and Voya is not losing that fight in showers. I'm sorry, U-Haul. Velocity, leaking players, left and right. Excali might even find one.
Nice.
How do you recover the round? A frag, great, yeah. But Flabin will come in with another frag. And Reckoning Esports, they dropped one round in the previous game. They've already done worse than that in the first half. But hey, 2 rounds is something that they'll take again for themselves.
Reckoning Esports are firing on all cylinders right now. They're unstoppable. The momentum is too much for Velocity to bear.
Right here.
But maybe things
Right
can
here.
change. They've got 2 massive ultimates available right now. The Orbital Strike and the Resurrection to boot. To counter it, Reckoning will use the Viper Spit right off the bat towards a shot. And at the same time, they're pushing out a hookah. An early fight towards the bottom of B is now taking place, where trades will go left and right. And as the pinstripe of the kill feed comes to a rest, Reckoning will once again try to find the advantage. The op this time not delivering what Voya was looking for, but at least he's figured out where the spike is.
The pit though is something that I don't know how will Team Velocity work around with. Now they've seen that it is very deep in a shot, so showers will be a position that will be completely open. But look at the timing. Harsh is going to mark that position, I think. And he has a molly to stop a push if it comes from Team Velocity. He throws the knife early on to confirm no presence in showers till now, and he rotates back. That would be a mistake. Let's see, I think Reckoning are happy to play retake on A if the plan goes down.
Maybe Deathmaker can turn this round. The Showstopper definitely should help him counter the Viper Spit, especially when Twist is playing outside of it. The Seekers will give away his position, will give Velocity the idea that he's trying to play a little ahead of that Toxin. But the Null Command cancels the Showstopper, and now Velocity have to rely on their guns, rely on their weapons. Twist is long gone, he's exit the Viper Spit, but Velocity don't know about this. We are trying to figure out the positions. The 0 point will also give away at least a cue about where Doma is, but Hellfighter still has to be the hero. Deathmaker is far away from the action. Doma's already taking damage. The trades go left and right once again, and the off strikes once more. Deathmaker on a massive mission to wrap around will find success, will find Voya, and it's once again in the hands of Twist. Do Reckoning Esports trust him with this round, or will Velocity finally get something? The first one on board, and Hellfighter with the swing survives on very little HP to clutch the round for Velocity.
Oh, where were the comms? I mean, you pop the null command, but Trist even after that runs away. Why? The pit could have been activated. If it stays activated, Deathmaker cannot push down CT. That was a little bit of a miscalculation coming in from Team Reckoning Esports' side. But hey, it's all good. They've done enough economic damage that Velocity cannot completely buy into the round. Look at that. Amaterasu does not have a stim beacon to work with and still is playing on that harsh shield. One molly only available for LF. So
Oh my god.
they sacrifice in terms of utility, and now they're also sacrificing in terms of players. Hoya gets a couple, and then the nade to follow up might just not make it. But yeah, Excali now to very little HP, needs to get that reset through Doma.
Nice. They use Flabin's smoke to get the resurrection back up. And with this, the numbers are once again even. But to turn the tide, Reckoning Esports have pushed very deep. And even though Hellfighter's marking this angle, they probably won't anticipate to go all the way around cave. Excali's getting healed up over here. Little does he know that he's about to get shot down by Harsh once again, and this will be the spike. And Harsh strikes from the shadows. He will discover the spike. Amaterasu has to recover it somehow, but Harsh is unwilling. Not ready to give up at all. At the same time, Trist moves in once again, and Hellfighter is not marking this one. So many of these flanks could have been successful, but Harsh, he will somehow survive. Even Trist misses the opportunity, and now Velocity have to highway across where Harsh is ready to intercept once again. Trist will catch them as they try to escape, but there is no escaping the grip of death as the Grim Reaper swings his mighty scythe. Reckoning will find 8.
I was concerned for a second because Trist missed a very easy frag. The player was not even looking at him. But then again, moments of Valorant where you cannot shoot a player in the back. It's just impossible. I think something exactly in that line happened with Trist, and he is still able to close out the round, so that's great for Team Reckoning. They have the Nightfall available for Hoya. Although Velocity in terms of ultimate, this time they do lead, but look at the weapons. A couple of Sheriffs, there is a Stinger and a Spectre in the mix. It is a very, very difficult round for Velocity to take back.
There is a Viper Spit available on Hellfighter. If they can somehow get the plant, they will definitely be able to plant it down. And Hellfighter, without even waiting for the plant, he goes in towards Labs and deploys it himself. Now this will really put Reckoning in a bind. Do they know where the spike is coming? Or will they all fall for this fake? So far, Reckoning are stationed towards the A side. At least the majority of them are. The only person who's positioned towards Hookah is Trist, and now Harsh comes in to help him out. Just in the nick of time, he will find the spike. And now Reckoning can rotate accordingly. But they will have to deal with the Viper Spit regardless. They can't use the teleporter. They have to go all the way around.
So important fight, and he wins it out. Now you don't have Hookah information. The Doma will fall to Flabin. Flabin can do no wrong today. It is his game, it is his day, and he can do literally no wrong right now. Deadly 10 jumps over LF in that position, but that was a funny sequence for me, man. He just jumps over a player, the information does not get relayed, and then Amaterasu in showers gets like, oh, how is he here? LF, I think you were supposed to check that angle.
Nah, but the Nightfall gives away his position and turns this game into a nightmare for Velocity. A 9-3 half. This is exactly what Reckoning need to kickstart their journey into the playoff. And maybe even send Velocity packing. What a brutal half of Velocity. They must come back. If they are able to do so, it will be one of the most epic comebacks in VCSA. If they don't, it will be one of the biggest upsets. Find out what happens after this short break.
Hit for my wings, I need my eggs. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Bro, fridge meat के लिए, heat के लिए नहीं. Bro, this graphics card is making my frames drop. Come with me if you want a game.
The all-new Omen 16 with advanced Tempest cooling technology, now with 5 heat pipes and 4 thermal outlets. The Omen 16 with 12th Gen Intel Core i7 processor to make you forget your frame drops.
Now that's cool.
Game on with Tempest cooling.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Yes, I'm a Gen Z. Or should I say, the Gen X. And I don't let fear hold me back from doing anything. I choose to move fearlessly through it all.
Hey buddy, we need you to trim your beard for this next scene.
What? Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I move fearlessly in most things, but I draw the line here. What if I Nico cut myself?
Try this.
Phillips.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
A very, very important second half for a team like Velocity. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to VCSA, driven by Hyundai, powered by Philips One Blade. A very important half went the way of Team Reckoning. 9-3 is where they stand. And now for the final stretch. Can Velocity pull it back? Or is it Team Reckoning who will close this game in a 2-0 fashion? I mean, nobody expected this to happen. But somehow we are over here in a 9-3 with Reckoning in the lead. Now, an early knife lineup was thrown in towards the Showers to sort of sell a fake. But anyways, Velocity have 3 players down A main. And Reckoning again have the right read, and even Hoya has the correct timing. That's just perfect for Reckoning. Every timing has been nailed by Team Reckoning today. It seems like even gods want Team Reckoning to win the game right now. And they hit this A side where a solo player stands. In A Showers, that is Excalibur. Let's see if he has some heroics available in himself to stop this push. Harsh just clearly gets the plan for free. No problems whatsoever. And Velocity now have to deal with the wall of their own teammate, but Reckoning, they do one better. They run back, and Flabber not being checked gets one. The second player tagged up quite a bit. Hell of inside dead. And Reckoning, they finally end up into the B side and finally end up winning the round. What a round. Reckoning are just playing with their food, seems like. And it is a game of Reckoning to lose from here on. Great show of, it's a discipline from the side of Team Reckoning. Hoya getting the first frag. Then they just hit the DP as soon as they see that 2 of the players of Team Velocity have also done the same thing from B side. They go back A, they find LF alone, take his head off. And essentially move on to win the round. My god, Team Reckoning. They are making it look so very simple. That Team Velocity, they are in shambles right now.
In shambles, shocked to the core. And in the significant display of power, Reckoning Esports are proving to the world who's boss. Velocity Gaming once again fighting, trying to keep their tournament life in their hands right now, but it's slipping away. And they better not have a Butterfingers moment now. Doma with the jump spot, sees 2. Falls back even though the Prowlers are being sent at him. And Reckoning Esports keep the spike all the way back there, for they don't want to commit just yet. They want to keep their options open given the way they're spreading out. 2 on B long, 1 right outside of Shaw's. Reckoning have control of the extremities of the map, while at the same time Flavin tries to explore hookah. Spike now on the back of Crest as Deadly makes his way in. Across the other side, there is a shorty, but Deadly has nothing to stop him.
Wow.
And even at range, he can kill Excali. Single-handedly tearing through the A side. There's only Deathmaker who will be able to kill him, but this is too late as the spike is heading towards the B site now. And Trist has cleared all the obstacles in the way.
DM left all alone. Gets another frag though. That's something you can hope to get. Isolates Trist. But yeah, Trish is like, I'll stay in the bomb, no problem. The pain shells will maybe take me down, but yeah, it will do the job for DM too. That's just all right with me.
Absolutely all right. This time Velocity finally have a bye. Battered and bruised, their brows strained with blood, they rise once again with grim determination for the chance to face their enemies in fair, armed combat once again. Armed to the teeth, Vandals and Phantoms to boot up against the bonus weapons of Reckoning, they look to convert this round. Or if they cannot, Reckoning will have map and series point, maybe even tournament point. Deadly starts things off with stylish headshot, and that's Doma out of the game already. No flashes available. Deadly also tries to escape, and he will get back to safety before anyone else can try to face him once more.
PTSD for Doma. Similar things happened in the map of Lotus Lake or One Tap. This time around, he had a rifle. Yeah, Deadly does not care. Flash news, he does not.
Poison orb
Now,
emitting.
LF is trying to make a play, gets double taken. And how do you deal with Slabbin today? He's getting nothing but headshot. Look at this! That's not how it should be done. Exactly. Just obliterated in that position.
They even throw so many bodies at him. They jumped in from the teleporter to help maybe pinch him. But he's unfazed, unbothered and relentless. And now Velocity Gaming have no idea where Deadly is. The haunt is perfectly placed. He doesn't even need this one. Deadly's war cry echoes through the stadium, as does the sound of fury. And as he rips and tears through the opposition, this beast pushed beyond mortal wounds and certain death to give his team the map point. And he's on the verge of eliminating yet another beast. A beast who we thought was capable of conquering the land and waving their flag high across South Asia. But now they are staring at certain defeat.
One round is what stands between elimination of Velocity and Reckoning qualifying for the playoffs. And these Wolves were the first one. I mean, this was the team we thought might go down with MLT in Group A, the group of death. No one ever thought Velocity to be in this spot. And now Velocity themselves are in a big ditch. I'm surprised to see Reckoning call a timeout at this point, because literally nothing is going wrong for them. Deadly is hitting shots which he just should not. And I mean, yeah, what can even Navi do right now? Nothing is working. Velocity cannot find any sort of a success in the round. And everything is going in the way of Team Reckoning Esports. They are on the verge, or I'd say creating history, eliminating a team which is ruled South Asia for a very long period of time and not even letting them qualify for playoffs.
Standing on the edge of victory, can Reckoning finish the deal right here and now? Velocity, desperate moves, call for desperate measures, and these are indeed desperate times as they push deep into its link. They're trying to pinch Reckoning right here, and they might just find the spike, unless Harsh can save this. Able to recover it. At least he now knows where at least two members of Velocity are, and with this information, Reckoning will gracefully give up this area, for they can always retake Shahs once again. Deadly has found quite a lot of success in this area, so he will try his luck over there once more. But this wall, do they know that Trish is able to climb over it? Doma might just be visible. And he falls back. Doesn't want to fight this just yet. Velocity give up the area. They fall all the way back. Deadly is driving straight inside, and even though he gives up his own life in the process, at least he's taken down Excali. Man advantage secured for Velocity Gaming, and they might just have a leg in this tournament yet.
Doma though at 26 is a very concerning thing for me. He does not have a lot of HP left, and if he goes down, that would be very difficult for Velocity to play around with. Now there are 3 Velocity players on site, so there is no way Reckoning should be able to get the bomb down and win the round from here on, unless a player just steps up and does something crazy. The Flash gets one. Harsh don't trade it out. The time is of the essence, and Trish gets the headshot.
10 seconds
now DM
left.
around the corner. Throws the satchel away, but the spike still goes down. Suddenly, this is a 2v2 and very doable for Team Reckoning Esports. They do have a C's available, but Amaterasu around the corner is not able to spot Foya down. The Molly will isolate him for a little bit of second on the Hoya. Headshot found, but he won't be
Nice.
able to take down Deathmaker. Velocity, they survive.
An immense rocket was cast onto this world from the heavens. Thunder and cataclysm shook the land as the skies were torn asunder as Deathmaker wakes up, rising from the ashes once again, keeping Velocity in this tournament for just a round longer. But he will have to do so much more to stop them, to stop Reckoning.
I mean, both the showstoppers used in this round, and only if Hoya got 2 more shots, it would have been GG.
Isolate and
And I think this is the fast APs where you'll have that ultimate being thrown out in showers to flush off any players from that particular position. Excali will be seized. That's a seize ulti combo. I completely misread it. And Reckoning are super happy that I did, and the judge finds nothing. That should be GG in a 3v5 with a pit down. I don't think so. There is any way that Reckoning can come back into the game now. I'm sorry, Velocity can come back into the game now.
Player standing.
No way. Doma lets you do it all. And he will have the Nightfall thrown at him. It's all done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Reckoning have done the impossible. They have eliminated Velocity from this tournament. Tournament favorites at one point, now not even making it to the playoffs, will definitely shake up the hierarchy of Indian Valorant. They were destined to win this tournament. They were the chosen ones. They were the ones that everybody thought would wear the crown, but now they have been left without a head on their shoulders as Velocity have been decapitated. The kings are down, the guillotine slice is through, and the throne now lies vacant. Reckoning might just usurp this away from them.
I thought that Reckoning really might have a chance in this series. But like this? 13-4, 13-5, what are these scorelines? It's like it was a different Velocity playing on the map today. Or maybe it was a different Reckoning playing today. The compositions in both the maps, super weird. But the way they turned out, just phenomenal.
Absolutely unbelievable scenes here in Omen Valorant Challenger South Asia. Who would have thought that players who have represented their teams on the big stages in the world will now fall to a bunch of underdogs in challengers? This is Velocity's fall from grace. I don't know how they will save their face because this is absolutely unbelievable. We'll break this game down and more in the post-game segment. Stay tuned on the other side of this break.
Can't for my wings, I need my eggs. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, hurry up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, hurry up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, hurry up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, hurry up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, hurry up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, hurry up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, hurry up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong.